Here we go. Yep, that's me 8 years ago, and my partners across the board. We're all angel investors, and my three partners also run a family office. So we're all investors and have healthcare backgrounds. Clay and I are physicians by training. And then you see my team below Lindsay and Javelin and myself. So the three of us are who you're going to see the most of during the program. To date, we have invested in 130 healthcare startups that have raised over $350 million of initial capital. We have a large network of investors and mentors, over 200 investors. Most of those are also mentors, plus additional mentors. And we have 12 countries and 40 states to date represented. When you join us here, you'll get to know a little bit more about the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth ecosystem. But we are in Dallas, Texas, and it's a very energetic and growing metro area. Dallas will be the third largest metro area in the United States in the next 5 years, overtaking Chicago. As you probably know, a lot of growth in our region, also on the biotech and life science side. And we have now a really great center of all focal area for all this life science innovation in a business park that's very centrally located in Dallas, which is called Pegasus Park. And it consists of several buildings, including this older building here that is completely renovated. We are also housing ARPA-H, which is a federal agency here in our building that is tasked with helping give Americans more access to health innovation. It was the first time that a federal agency was not headquartered only in DC, but rather in other states as well. So there are three headquarters for Health ARPA-H, namely in Dallas, in Boston, and a small one in DC. Our accelerator has been around for 13 years now, and we've collected a variety of little awards along the way, but our biggest reward is your success. So I won't belabor this point. One thing I'll leave you with for sure is we love art. So our space happens to be also a Fast Company Best Workplaces for Innovators last year. We have a bunch of startups that are also residing here. Some of those are Health Wildcatters graduates, some of them are not. So we're also at the center of the ecosystem in Dallas with a co-working space. So the environment you're in is one of health innovation in any facet or form that you can think of. This is our eye chart of our graduates to date from 40 states and 12 countries. I don't have a ranking of which states contributed the most, but Texas has a good slice of that. That said, maybe a couple of startups every year out of 10 will be expected to be from Texas or Dallas. Here is a little wider lens. The 14 really are meant to represent Europe, and the 6 are in Asia, which is primarily Israel, which isn't what you really think of as Asia, but Asia, Israel, and India. This is just a snapshot of our mentors. They come from all facets of life, whether they are physicians, CEOs, investors, healthcare executives, very diverse group. We have organizations that sponsor us. We are a privately owned company, but these organizations sponsor us and help us make the program better and do more in the community, also to the benefit of the startups, you who will participate in the program, hopefully. We started a new initiative last year, which is the Health Wildcatters Venture Center, which now contains over 90 healthcare venture funds. Dallas is not known to be an epicenter of healthcare VC activity, as in local VCs. That said, it attracts a lot of, at least recently, a lot of VC interest. and so does Texas in general. And so, as a result of that, we are just under 100 venture capital firms that will do office hours here and take meetings with startups. So that's a new initiative. We have also various other initiatives in our region, which aren't as important to you, but just for you to know, we interface with all regional universities, pretty much all of them. In this case, in the form of a Women in Science and Health network, which we have founded, and so on and so forth. So now let's dive into the accelerator a little bit more in detail. So we're in the application time period. The candidate selection will take place in the summer with finals in the July, August time period. And so if you're a selected company, you would join us um, the Wednesday after Labor Day here in Dallas. Um, and the program culminates in the pitch day. Now, it used to be we are pretty much a Techstars model accelerator with our own modifications to that. But it used to be that the pitch day is kind of the end of everything, and then you ride into the sunset happy and content. We all know that that is not really the way it goes, and so what that just signifies is the end of the in-person program. We offer our program also as a hybrid fashion, but we will need you to be on location because our network of these many hundreds of participants is still the strongest when you are able to meet these people in person. We're not in the business of forcing you to move to Dallas or to swear allegiance to Texas or anything like that. We do believe it's a very purpose-driven place for most of you to have a presence, or if you're open to moving, it may be the place for you to move to. That said, we're investors. We want what's best for you and what helps you best form and grow your company. And so we'll support you however we can in that regard. If there is a move involved or any special circumstances, of course, we're happy to um, tell you as much as we can, and we'll help you get connected. But what you will have at the very least as a result of this program is a second hometown, if you will. So Dallas will adopt you as one of their own as a part of this participation here. Programming itself, we are not here to tell you how to start a company or convince you to start a company. You all have companies. You've decided to do the most laudable thing already, to start something, to make a difference, to change something big. Our programming is focused on the middle 3 days of the week to allow for travel in case you need to go home or travel somewhere else. And most of these programming points can also be attended. Actually, all programming points can be attended via Zoom or asynchronously as well. Again, our emphasis is in person though, so we will encourage you to participate in large as much as possible in person. This is a little bit more detail. The, the, the really most important piece of the week is the Wednesday pitch practice and speaker series. When you pitch in front of your own investors, our LPs, and people who are possibly interested in making additional investment in you, that's a very powerful thing. And this happens in an environment of inclusivity. Once you're in the accelerator, we're not playing survivor here. You're part of the Health Wildcatters family. We've made the investment decision to invest in you with an original simple investment already. So we're here to help you get better and to be the best you can be. And the course of the accelerator will be 100 programming points. There'll be 100 programming points as well. And those will touch on any conceivable angle of a healthcare startup. And you will meet a lot of the right people that you should be meeting from, whether it's investors, service providers, co-founders, complementary other companies, customers, you name it. We Here is another thing you miss out when you don't come in person. We have a lot of events and presentations with cool people. Uh, I just interviewed Mark Cuban last week here in Dallas. It was not part of the accelerator program, but there are a lot of interesting people on the right here. You see Dave Cops, who is a very successful AI software entrepreneur in Dallas as well, and other people. So these personal connections do matter. In the top there, you see us going to the Dallas State Fair, which is also fun. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun as well. Here's some of the topics we will talk about. Again, this is a conversation with you, your grown-ups, with an amazing startup, and that can probably use help in certain departments. We're here to offer you that 360 for you to look at. Oh, maybe that's an area I could improve in, or there's an idea I didn't have, to make you your best version. I cannot overemphasize how important it is to be able to tell your story. Whether it's the elevator pitch or the 5-minute pitch, it is a big differentiator, and this is a really, really hard one to do by yourself in your closet. So um, we really believe in that. Here's some of the topics. Again, these are all things you can find in many places, but those will be all individuals that come and give specific guidance. And we're not using professors to do these things. These are industry professionals who are doing this every day. So you're meeting some of the right people that can help you optimize your startup. We also have a variety of additional perks. We have a relationship with Met City News, a few other organizations, local and regional as well. And this is just some of what we have here. But you know that as a startup, you have access to a ton of other accelerator perks as well, not just what we have here specifically sliced out for you. But just gives me just a talking point to emphasize that the relationships that we have curated over 10 years run deep in many, many different directions. We also, while you're here, want to involve you in some of the regional events that we're involved with or that we organize. The Digital Health Invest Conference is obviously not in October 2025, but rather 2026. But anyway, we will either be able to give you tickets for these events or reduced fees. Most importantly, connect you to our ecosystem here. Again, a very important thing to remember when you're here during your accelerator time period is that in our region, in the healthcare innovation circles, Health Wildcatters is known to basically anyone that's in the investment space or in the health innovation space. And so as a Health Wildcatters accelerator company, that's all you have to say to someone. They know that you got in through an extremely competitive process. We get over 500 applications every year. And if you're one of those 10, then they know that there's something really special going on with what you're tackling. A few just mementos from pitch days or pitch events that we have, nothing too outrageous. And a little bit now just about some of our accelerator graduates. One of our most successful companies was a pharma AI company called Lantern Pharma, went public on NASDAQ. Was a big story here in Dallas, of course, and for the entrepreneurs as well. I won't go into detail on that. A medical device example is VenosStent, which is involved in hemodialysis optimization. It's a simple idea, but not simple to execute on. These guys did a phenomenal job, very successful, just not at the exit yet, but coming. CareLoop is a tech-enabled service company that's on its way to unicorn status in the benefits space. run by one of the all-time nicest guys on the planet, Michael Walsh. Um, and you will probably get to meet him as well. Our alums come in for informal dinner conversations and give you some pointers and make connections. Paul and Sense is one of our more recent graduates. They have air uh, air quality measurement systems that are a class above anything that you can get right now, deployed in over a dozen countries and several hundred sites. Um, Extremely useful also for industrial air monitoring. Here are here are some of their customers. So these guys are rocking and rolling. Um, and with that, I can take questions. Um, I will Yeah, let me just switch over to questions. On the economics of Health Wildcatters involvement, you will receive one spot in the Health Wildcatters program. At acceptance, you will only receive $30,000 initially. So that's a very modest investment. You may be able to receive another $100,000 from the Health Wildcatters Fund and up to $250,000 from Health Wildcatters LPs, so from our investors for a total of $380,000 maximum. This is obviously not what our companies raise on average. So they raise, yeah, I don't know, 5, 10 times that much. But out of our circles, I just don't want you to think that we're the ones with the deep pockets. We've got some little bit of money, but we're not your one and done funder, if that's maybe sums it up. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing here and bring all of you people back up. Here we go, all bobbleheads. And let's fill this in on the things that you really want to know or things that I didn't cover so I can help get some clarity for anyone. Yeah, do me a favor, use the little hand icon. That way I can see the yellow hand go up or whatever color you made it. And then, or just to get started, just raise your hand and then I'll just uh, unmute yourself. Okay, we'll go with Nick first and then, yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I want to just jump in with what I think is on all of our lips probably is the examples you shared are helpful, but sort of what makes a successful application? What are you really looking for to distinguish amongst those 500 applicants?
Yeah, so we are very open to, hopefully the examples give an idea, very open to any kind of innovation. So we've got successful startups from devices, health IT, you name it. Um, a successful startup will have, some team. So it's really hard for us to interact with a single solo founder for several reasons. But one of the first reasons is that whatever we do and however much we help you, if we believe that a typical angel investor, early stage VC would reject you based on a simple thing, and one of them is going to be being a solo founder. Now, that can be augmented with advisors. There's ways to dress that up and to make it real and add some flavor to it. But it's very, very difficult for us to invest in just one person. And I'm not going to say it hasn't happened, but if you have a team or, make sure that it doesn't look like it's just you. And the answer is simply for an investor, and I'm also an angel investor. The advantage of getting into accelerator like health into health marketers is going to be that it's my job to help make you successful. The disadvantage is I will not make an individual investment in you because that's a conflict of interest. Um, but so that's one thing. A second thing is you will, in the application process, have an opportunity to show a video, a 1 minute video about you and your team, and a 1 minute video about your secret sauce, your technology. What is it you're doing? What is it you're producing? Keep it around that minute. Don't make it a 10-minute thing or something like that. But also do not skip the video. Do not skip the video. We have a group of reviewers And as you can imagine, a sizable pool of applicants we have to review. And if somebody skips the videos, then let me just say I'm one of them, right? So then I need to read every single line you're writing in there. Well, I'm really, really would prefer for you, Nick, to tell me, I'm Nick, I'm so and so. It gives me a feel for who you are, what you do. Um, and the same, you explain to me. Once you explain to me in 2 minutes who you are and what you do, then it makes it so much easier for me to understand everything that's below it. I'm also a reviewer for um, NCI now, for instance. I have a career in academia as well. I was not a reviewer. I was a small fry. So now I'm a NIH reviewer, very fancy. Um, pardon my French, but oh, those ever the most boring things you have to read. Just kill me now. Please put me out of my misery. I hated it. I did my first session of this, and I remember this from my first boss in science. He was convinced more is better. We had 15 minutes for proposals. The guy was like playing with the margins and making the font smaller so we can get more text in there. And I can guarantee you that is the wrong approach. If I'm the reviewer, which now I am the reviewer, and I'm seeing you making my life even more miserable than it already is, I am not loving you. I'm not loving you. So videos, sorry to be long on this, but um, everyone, it's all about humans. You guys running these companies, if you guys aren't on this call, if you guys didn't start your companies, it's not happening. So it is with us. On our end, they're humans interacting with you. So video is the second one. I think the third one is yeah, keep it brief, but feel free to add more information in other ways, like hey, there's more, or this and that, or a link, or something like that. Um, Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to rob you of that opportunity. You'll see that our application is so simple. Those are all questions you can answer very quickly. You can also come back to them, so you don't have to do it in one session. And yeah, I think those would be my top two points. It's always about the people. I always say this, and when I talk anywhere on any stage, I say, yes, I'm not immune to the shiny object. You got to say something like, we're making blind people see. I mean, whatever it is you say, it's got to be something where I say, interesting. And if you don't have to be the only ones doing it, just interesting, good problem. And then this next one, and who are you? That's going to be the most important thing. That's going to be the most important thing. So that video, you can see how important that becomes. By the way, if that becomes a 10-minute video, it's very annoying too. Because I don't have, not just me, but we don't have the time. So anyway, I hope that gives you some color, Nick. Let's go with Martin's next, and then after that, Xander. Go ahead, Martin.
Like for companies serving disability rehabilitation, speech therapy, or chronic conditions like ALS, how strong is your network in those specific segments?
Uh, I know, good question. I don't know that I have a great um, answer. Like, we're not subspecializing in chronic diseases. Um, I mean, we are connected to a ton of hospital systems here, number one. Um, yeah, we have some neurologists in there as well. I don't know if I have a great answer for you. I do believe it's a strong interest. ALS has brought a lot of interest, has a lot of interest in general terms. Um, so what we generally do when we get a startup in and you make it into the program is that there are several things happening. But one of the things we're doing is looking at who sitting down with you, like who should you meet, so there's several layers of that. We call it the mentor matching levels. It's them picking you picking them out of our list. It's us knowing about you and someone and saying the two should meet. And the fourth one is there's one more level, and then there's your dream mentors. The fifth level is simply you saying, I would like to meet so and so and so and so. And those are not mentors of ours. So two things can happen. Either we're connected to these people and we say, you know what, even they are not a mentor, I bet we can get through to them. Or the other question is, you, as a result of being in the Health Wildcatters program, can probably write them and say, I'm a current Health Wildcatters program company, and that will get a lot of people's attention too. So we will strive to make connections happen that neither you or us have, but think of it a little bit as the Goldilocks time in grad school. Like you're a grad student, you're calling up someone, say, hey, do you have 5 minutes for me? The answer is yes. And so there's a little bit of that effect that we can also have. Martin, I don't have a great answer for you because I have never sliced it along these lines. But as far as passion goes, I can guarantee you there's a lot of passion, not just for ALS, but for chronic disease management and cures and medications in our network. And if for no other reason than because anyone who's over 50 like me has been touched by something in our own family. And I've been lucky, nobody in my family with ALS, but I have friends who have been afflicted by it. But that's a simple equation. So no perfect answer, but it's as good as I can do right now.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I'm coming at from the opposite perspective of most people. I have pretty good experience telling stories and telling my wife and my story, but very little business experience. So number one, for those of us who are, very early idea stage, but have passion and access to a good team and resources, would love to hear your advice apart from the video of and apart from the business plan of how we can really elevate the pitch and what concerns you guys might have of somebody who's not an experienced startup founder. And the second question is more particular to benefits platforms. It was awesome to see Caraloop and hear their story. What specific support resources would you guys be able to provide in terms of benefits platforms, insurance, software as a service models? How do you foresee supporting and providing expertise specifically for those types of ventures?
Okay, so the first one is on founders. So technically, usually what you will find at Health Wildcatters is probably true of most accelerators, but for us, it's going to be first-time founders, first-time in healthcare founders, or first-time to the US founders. That's the three groups of founders that will be attracted to an accelerator like ours. We also have serial entrepreneurs who have joined us for various reasons, but so first-time founder is all over this place. This is not something atypical. What you're touching upon is like that you're coming at it as more or less from the patient side, exploring a problem, having business skills, having observation, being able to pull things together. You're not an IVF specialist. You don't run around with 5 publications that are IVF related. It's a consumer kind of a consumer scenario. So that's not a problem at all. What I said earlier holds. We have several startups, by the way, in the infertility space. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but one has to do with optimization of uterine tissue for implantation purposes. It's an Israeli startup of ours. It's a phenomenal startup, successful trials in animals, now in humans. So really, really cool. Increases the odds of IVF in, to date, only animals by 50%, which is huge, huge. And there are others. One that hates it when I say it, I always say it's a sperm bank. They say we're not a sperm bank, but they are. But they're not because they have some interesting twists on it. Okay, so definitely a great subject to make people blush. It was phenomenal when we had them. It's like it was great. We just it just the jokes never ended with them because they were so balls out with their technology and their own funniness about it all. But to get back to the first time found that doesn't scare us. Um, what does matter to us is that the people involved have the passion and can demonstrate to me that you will have the durability. That to show to me that you are not just passionate about it, but that this is what you're gonna do. This is what you're doing. This is this is your project. You're not doing five other things at the same time or playing around trying to pick up a little bit of money to finance it. This is what you're passionate about. This is your reason for being. This is what you're dedicating yourself to. That's a big deal. There's a fine line between that and being a warrior for a cause. So I want to see the rational piece behind it, the business case, and all that. But we love people with passion that know what they want, understand the problem, and want to fix it. So this is a very powerful position to be in to say, we have experience, we know what we're talking about. So that's very, very credible. So you don't need, by no stretch of the imagination, need to be a specialist. The second was on connections into I think insurance companies or benefits companies. I mean, in some cases, it'll be a proxy. Like, I mean, somebody like Michael Walsh has reason to speak with you for business reasons. This may very well be something that could fit in there. What's been interesting over the last 2, 3 years, and it really is amazing how this took that long, but that a lot of our startups are starting to do business with each other. So we have a we have a telepharmacy company in one case, for instance. So then we have an insurance company that provides kind of, let's call it insurance for uninsured. So it's not a great insurance product, but it's for people who have no insurance right now. So offered for let's say fast food workers and people who aren't eligible for full-fledged programs through the respective chains. So as that fabric has gotten fine, more tightly woven, we have startups, investors, or groups of investors that are related to these subjects. And then our accelerator startup graduates have not just come back as investors, but they've also come back as mentors and speakers, and they are approachable to us. So there's a lot of power in that when you're talking to, let's say, for one subject, to Michael Walsh or to somebody else about the insurance world and where you need to be. They will help you because we're invested in both of you. And also, there's a very low chance that you guys will screw each other because we're sorry, you're catching on my language is quite loose. But anyway, yeah, you'll treat each other nicely because first of all, we don't really we're we're we want to deal for the most part with we're dealing with we can choose who we deal with here. Let me put it this way. We're a private organization and people behave. But for all practical purposes, startups that have a common denominator investor tend to have a really good basis for having a very good conversation with each other, because neither of the two companies can afford to do anything not kosher to each other, because there's a backstop. So this is really, really nice. Not that that's needed, but it's really, really nice. And also, by the way, I know of cases where they did business with each other and then it wasn't economically feasible anymore. So they had to say, hey, we're going to have to stop doing that because there's another way for me to do it for a fraction of the cost. And that's okay. And you can, so it's a really, really nice way to bring people together. That was never intended, but the network has gotten so strong and so interwoven that we have a lot of these resources now within their own family, basically. And so, yeah, so that's maybe that answers it. But yes, there's formally also insurance companies with relationships with and a variety of different resources.
Hey, can I jump in for a sec? I'm sorry,
Yes, and then we'll go
Emily.
to, yeah.
I, for God knows what reason, my raise hand thing is not appearing anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I see you unmuted the whole
Okay.
time, so I was wondering. Go ahead.
So, hi, I just put this in chat, but I understand that you are I'm going to call it a band of angels per se, and I'm wondering in our applications, typically angels are not looking for 10x returns, but VCs are, but you also have VCs sort of implied on your website. So, what sort of return are you looking for on your investments?
Um, we're in the VC range. We're taking VC level risk. We take 10 startups. They're not all gonna go. And yeah, so when we've had companies succeed, then yeah, I mean it's the professional level. So we expect 10x. Now we have plenty of the write-offs, which is just normal, unfortunately. But that's a game. Not
Yeah.
many people willing to write that first check. But having 200 angel investors and family offices back our 13 funds should also be a very meaningful statement in this group.
Mhm.
And the reason is that I challenge you to find another angel group, even though I just said we want VC returns, any other angel group
Yeah.
that has 200 angel investors who have each made at least a 5-digit investment, usually 25K or more, once, at least once. I believe you will fail. I believe there is no other angel investment group out there that has possibly some with more members, but not with verified early. Each of them made at least one investment in one of our high-risk healthcare investment funds.
Hmm.
You will find angel groups that have, and I've made them too, real estate, all that. No, 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 no. You find me 200 people in one group that have each made a 5-digit investment minimum in a high risk angel investment? And the answer, I believe, is going to be there is none. Not even, I am going out on a limb. I just want to, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But if you find one, then that's the other one.
Yeah.
I, I just don't think there is such a group because I've been part of angel groups and 2/3 of them never write a check. And that third writes the check to the other two teams that are pitching a new type of yogurt. Trust me, it's not it's a tough game. So it's a sub specialized group of angel investors that invest in high risk, pre-revenue or early revenue tech companies in healthcare with all the additional. So it's a very, very special type.
Focus. Yeah.
Piotr.
Hi. My question to you is, as we work on Back, really love to hear feedback from users or potential users of our product. And as part of the program, do you help to get connected with patients groups or hospitals where we could do like pilot implementations or just show the product and get feedback? Because it might be different in the States than in Europe. I don't know. So just to have this extra layer of verification.
Yeah, remind me, is it a medical device or what are you
Yeah,
promoting?
it's a wearable. So pretty much it's a rehabilitation device hidden in woman's handbag.
Okay. All right. Yes. So can we connect you to potential beta testers and
Yeah.
organizations that may be willing to do that? The answer is yes. Are you particularly interested? Would it be hospitals or any kind of employees?
Hospitals or breast cancer survivors. Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Rehabilitation.
Well, I mean, a couple of things on. We have breast cancer related startups in our cohorts, so in our alumni base. And this is where I always go first because as long as you're not competitive with them, which you won't be,
Mhm.
um, they're they're running in your circles. They've already done the work, and they can be amazingly supportive to you. Number two, Susan B. Komen Foundation is headquartered in Dallas and is I believe, the largest breast cancer philanthropy in the United States, if not in the world. Was This was the sister-in-law of one of the wealthiest restaurant founders in the country, Norman Brinker. And so she passed away of breast cancer, and her sister started this foundation. So there is a tremendous interest in that arena, and those are groups we could plug into. I cannot promise things because they get pitched at times
Obviously, yeah.
as well, but it's important. Anyone that's cancer related on this call, let me just add this too. The state of Texas has something called the Cancer Research Prevention Institute of Texas. It's a long name. It's abbreviated CPRIT. The reason I mentioned this is that it's a $300 million a year investment by the taxpayers of Texas into early stage healthcare innovation, but also commercialization. So one of our startups that is developing a immunotherapy has received $15 million from them. Others are applying. A lot of cancer-related startups are moving to Texas in order to become eligible for those funds. One of our startups just applied for CPRIT. So it's not candy being handed out. It's extremely competitive. It's extremely meaningful to get this money, but it's a very, very high reputable funding source. And along those lines, of course, Texas and oncology research has thrived, and also oncology startups have thrived in Texas. It's the second largest funder behind NCI in the United States now. And you do have to be Texas-based, but they are very lenient on how you do that. You can just have an office here. Our own startup has an office with us. That's all they do. They live all over the place. They do have someone in Texas here on their team, but anyway, just saying that that's another thing to put into the equation as well. Laura.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay, so I guess back to investors, what kind of milestones do the investors like to see before they start taking a healthcare startup seriously? And what kind of milestones do they start paying attention to in these scenarios?
What kind of startup do you have? Is it software, hardware?
So I have a patent pending. It's a medical device, ophthalmic medical device. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I mean, in most cases, when that's the case, then there's some sort of an Alcon background. Do you have an Alcon background?
I don't. No.
You don't? Okay. There are lots of friends here in Dallas who do.
Yes.
Great. And we have several of them as investors and also as startup entrepreneurs. So lots and lots of people in the ophthalmic space. As a matter of fact, we have a startup a year before last in pink eye treatment. Anyway, all that said, you asked what stage. So generally, people will device companies joining us will have a functioning prototype, patents either pending or filed or issued.
Amazing.
And a pathway to FDA. I don't want to say cleared, but defined. So that's generally, so a functioning prototype means not necessarily a functioning device, but a functioning prototype. So you can demonstrate what you can do. Some patents and an FDA pathway. That's generally what the companies that apply to us in the device space have on average, or potentially more in some cases. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much. We are patent pending. We're a hands-free contact lens application system, and we're basically designed to improve hygiene and make lens application easier by converting standard solution bottles into guided applicators. Okay. So that's what we got going on. So exciting to hear your response. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds like you're there. Go ahead, Martin.
How do you think about international founders or globally distributed teams when it comes to US market entry, customer access, and fundraising readiness?
Okay.
Yes, right.
Well, we have invested in non-US based startups, number one, which most accelerators will not do in the United States. We do ideally find a pathway for you to have a US entity in which to invest in, or you have some sort of a goal to be in the United States. Here's the thing. If you're not here in the US or in Dallas, or if you don't plan to be in the United States either as a company or as your primary market, then all the things that we can help you with start losing value. Our connections, I mean, I personally have connections in Europe as well, but for the most part, our network is in the United States. And so we would not provide you really the value that you should be seeking if you're not planning to come to the United States. So think of it this way. Here's you, the entrepreneur, and here's the Health Wildcatters support system, right? So we're built to, in a way, over decades, based on my partners and myself, but let's say with Health Wildcatters over 13 years, to have all the different relationships with all the relevant people, whether it's investors and mentors and service providers and you name it, all those pre-made, but they're in the United States. And now you're sitting in another country, and those are all not the people you need to be dealing with. You need, I don't know, European FDA advisors, and you need your Austrian lawyers. So it just becomes
Yes, right.
so that becomes a difficult thing. Not that we don't believe in you, it's just our value proposition will diminish greatly for you. And then also our equation doesn't work as well anymore because now we're just betting on you doing your thing in your country. And that is not gonna get us to success with our own investors because they'll just say, why would I invest in this thing? They're not even here. I'm just betting on on a company in another and that is just very hard to do. So unless you have a desire to be in the United States with your first clinical rollout or to move your company here, it's probably a tough fit.
Yes, right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Hector.
Yeah, okay, hello. Thank you for your presentation. I'm Hector. I'm from Seaboard as well with Martin. So, what's your stance on a Delaware LLC and a C Corp? So, it's an LLC a viable investment instrument or not?
Eh, um, uh, so we will need you to be a C Corp eventually. Um, but that can be easily fixed in the summer when you join us. So you wouldn't have to do that now. That should be a fairly easy um, easy conversion. Many startups have done it. Many of our startups have done it over the summer. Also, everything we do or require of you is going to be a reflection of what we know about what investors require of you. So there's not much purpose in me being like lenient and say, "Oh, Hector, we're such good friends. Just stay in LLC." When I know that the VCs are all going to say, "I'm out," and most of the angel investors are going to say the same, "I'm out." So I'm not doing you a favor and neither do I do a favor to my investors to let you be an LLC. So now, obviously, this may be the right vehicle for you. Certainly to start a startup is LLC is perfect. It's often the best way to go. And number two, it may be in the long run the best for you. That's going to be a decision you want to make. But professional investors and most angel investors will invest in technology companies, in C Corps, um, multiple reasons, but too long to go through here.
Perfect. Yeah, understood. Okay, thank you very much.
It's easily fixable, and many of our I would say we've had years where half of our startups were LLCs when they applied and then had to do the conversion in the summer. And if anyone quotes you many thousands of dollars for that work, then please call me because it shouldn't be. We
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
we
great.
have one of the things I want to convey, and I know we're going to have to wrap this here, is this. First of all, as you can tell, it's a lot about the people. So it is for you. I mean, if you're getting off this call and you don't want anything to do with me, or that's perfectly fine, by the way. But it's like the guy talks too much, or the guy that whatever it is, it's okay. It needs to be the right fit for you. Any service provider you're dealing with, my mantra is you walk in with problems, you should walk out with less problems. So if you walk in and you walk out with more problems, and no, you should feel at ease, even if you uncovered problems. A professional should put you at ease and say, these are some more problems. Here's what we're going to do. So always remember, do not engage with someone who just confuses you and makes things more complicated. Really. But here's the other thing. The organizations we engage with are either our investors or the companies of our investors or the organizations that are sponsors of ours that desire to have a long-term relationship with us. They know that through being a good neighbor, being a decent person, they will get business. Many of these businesses, by the way, don't count on the few dollars they make from you. They're just saying this is the right thing to do. And 5 years from now, there'll be some good clients coming out of this, and they'll remember I did the right thing. But so it is for us. Anyone that engages with you and doesn't treat you right in the course of your interactions is hurting us as investors and hurting Health Wildcatters portfolio shareholders. So it is my responsibility to only interact with people who treat you right, and the right organizations seek those relationships. No quick hits, no one, slam bam, long-term relationships. And so I don't want you to think I'm going to force service providers on you. I'm not. But I will be able to say, hey, here's why don't you talk to this person, talk to that person, get your 3 quotes, whatever it is you need to do, and feel good about the people you're dealing with. Because your top 5 service providers are probably going to be the most important people besides your team that you're going to be dealing with. Let those be decent people. Let those be people that you have reason to believe they'll do the right thing. And I will say this, and this is just for what it's worth, there's a surprising amount of not so decent people out there. And when you're by yourself, and again, don't take this the wrong way, I'm not trying to, it's just like me. I was a physician. I didn't know diddly squat about a lot of things. You can be taken advantage of very quickly. And there are people who do that for sport or do it for a living. And so all you're doing as you progress your startup is to figure out ways to de-risk as many things as you can, right? Advance the technology, get clinical trials. But it's the same on the business side. Get the right business structure in place. Get the right cap table management in place. Get you a lawyer that doesn't overcharge you but give you good advice. All these things are de-risking your startup as you go. Do it along all the and collect yourself good people along the way and good organizations that will keep their word, and you will be loved by your investors. And in a case of an interaction with a decent accelerator, whether it's ours or somebody else you find, it's a reinsurance program almost in a way. So think of it that way. Turns out great people like you guys start amazing things. We wouldn't be on Zoom if somebody didn't invent Zoom. And so it is with the things that you're tackling. It's a brave thing. Know that we respect this to the highest degree here in our shop. I personally think it's the noblest thing you can do, shy of being a military or police officer or a firefighter. It really is an amazing thing, and you're vulnerable as a result of that because you haven't done it before. And so find yourself people you can trust, find the right reasons, find excuses why you should trust them, let others reassure you in that, and find your tribe that can help you advance your agenda forward. And my simple shortcut to that is I only deal with decent people. We've just that's what we do. And I can because I don't have any state, federal, or local money. Nobody can say you need to take so and so and so and so. So we have that. We are a boutique firm, only 10 startups. That said, once you're part of this family, it's a journey that will be on with you for the duration of that startup and beyond. Believe it or not, we've also got serial entrepreneurs. So I'm gonna stop here. Thank you for joining us. Lindsay, did I miss any other comments that needed to be addressed? Just see. I did not.
I don't think so. But Marcos added a good amount of information in English for us there. So
Okay, yeah. The hopes that I will be proficient in Spanish by this summer are slim, even though I am on Duolingo. It's not quite doing the trick. So, but I'm working on it, Spanish. All right. If you want to speak German, I'm your guy. We can do that anytime. All right. Thank you, everyone. And thanks, Java and Lindsay, for joining as well. Looking forward to seeing your applications, and feel free to reach out with any other questions.